mindfulness is, and then we also are going to do a practice together. So we finish around about 8 o'clock in the evening here, so it's about half an hour. So just very briefly about mindfulness, first of all, there's many different ways of looking at that. You may have had meditation in the past that isn't as mindfulness based, so there's many different types of meditation we can do. Today we'll be doing the mindfulness based one, and today I'm going to focus on where we place our attention and also some self-compassion. So mindfulness is very much about deliberately being able to place our attention without being caught up in automatic pilots. And what do I mean by that? By that, I mean we're very habitual as creatures, which in many ways serve us well. So tying our shoelaces, driving a car, brushing our teeth, there's many things that we want to become an automatic behavior to help us be efficient. When our automaticity is not so helpful is when we are getting caught in our thoughts and thought patterns. So our habitual reactions to maybe when things are getting difficult or challenging, how we react to stress and things like that. So the great benefit of mindfulness is being able to kind of step into the present moment to check in with actually what is going on for me. You know, what is it that is happening for me right now? And creating a bit of space between what's going on in the mind and ourselves. So we have some space to make conscious choices, wise choices, in order to look after ourselves in the best way. Because when we don't do that, I don't know if you've noticed, but our brain tends to fly into the future to anticipate or worry or the what ifs, and creating lots of stories, or living in the past, so rehashing what's already been, wondering why it was like that, it shouldn't have been like that, all these stories that we get caught in. And it can create some patterns over time that it's almost like your stress signature, we all have it. So the great thing about coming together in groups like this is to notice and really recognize how we have that kind of commonality between us, that as humans, we all worry, we all have stress, and we all experience difficulty. And really, that's part and parcel of life, but is there a way in which we can sort of relate to difficulty in a different way, in some way that's more skillful for us? Mindfulness is not designed to create calm and relaxation. So mindfulness meditation can actually be quite hard work. It's designed to help us see more clearly, but which is why, and which is we're going to look at today, it's so important that when we are starting to look at what's happening for us, we do so with curiosity and kindness. So it's from a place of, what is going on for me? Like, what is it that drives these patterns? What is it that makes me feel this way? And how can I now support myself best? Rather than it becoming another kind of cold stare at something we can criticize ourselves for. You probably all know for yourselves that self-criticism is something that we can become quite good at, especially in times of stress. So that's kind of very briefly how I find that mindfulness and mindfulness-based meditation can be really helpful. So stress reduction, there's all the evidence is pointing to it helping reducing stress, helping reducing anxiety, helping lift lower mood to help ourselves out of that. And many other things that we're learning to live alongside what's difficult, but also what's really important, I think, and maybe isn't talked about as much, is how great mindfulness is at practicing noticing what's actually good. What is it that's going well for me? So with that in mind, I'm wanting kind of this evening's practice to be in the name of creating that sort of balance. So we're going to start with a practice that really helps us come into this present moment and be aware of what is currently, what is this moment like for me, and noticing not just what's in the mind, but also what's in the heart and the body. Once we've done that and we've kind of settled and found some steadiness into this present moment, we're going to practice deliberately a bit of self-compassion. And self-compassion is not about always just being incredibly nice and everything should be, you know, easy and flowery. It's more, can I allow and accept how I'm feeling? Because all feelings are natural, human, and feelings are fleeting, and they will be a reaction or a response to what's going on for us. So if I can learn to turn towards and help myself hold all of that, I will have more choices how I, you know, step into the rest of my day or the rest of my week or whatever. Just that more clarity of awareness. So I hope that you know, you'll find something coming out of this practice. So every time we practice, just with the intention of applying some curiosity to see what can come out of this practice. You know, we often have expectations or wishes for how things should be. So let's just see if we can practice letting things unfold and just having some curiosity about what comes up for us. If you are completely new to this, then what I would say about posture, so when we say that we're coming to sit in meditation, and this is also for everyone, even if you've done it before, to remind ourselves that we uncross our legs and we have our feet flat on the floor as we're sitting. If you're lying down, I can't see everyone at the same time right now, but I'll have a look through. But if you're lying down, that's also fine. If at any point you need to change posture, then do so and make it part of your practice. Just notice how it is to stand up or, you know, lie down or come sitting. It's just all part of the practice. So if you're sitting, to have both feet flat on the floor and just really noticing how that contact with the ground feels like. And if you are sitting on the chair, to kind of allow your bottom to come all the way to the back of the chair so that your back can be in a natural curve. So if your bottom is all the way to the back, but then the actual back can come out from the chair a little bit. So it's self-supporting, not stiff. So, you know, we don't want it to be uncomfortable, but just in a natural curve. And so that your head is balancing naturally on top with the head, but the chin maybe tucked slightly in, making it easier to sit without kind of tightening or gripping anywhere. In terms of your hands, they can just rest in your lap, maybe in each other or resting on your thighs, or even if you stand by the side. It's for you to create a posture that means that you're going to listen a bit more deeply to what's going on for you, but also that, you know, you're at ease, not uncomfortable. And in terms of the eyes being closed or open, then maybe if you're new to this, experiment to see what feels right. Many people like to close their eyes so that they feel more focused from that. For others, closing the eyes isn't so comfortable, and that's absolutely fine. And just having a soft gaze ahead of you on the floor. So if you're choosing to close your eyes, then doing so now, and knowing that at any point you can change posture and you can open your eyes. So just settling now into this position that you've chosen, whether it's sitting or lying down or standing up. Maybe taking one or two intentionally deeper breaths, longer breaths. maybe already now, as you're settling into this position and settling into the practice, maybe you're really noticing what's still around from the day that you already had. I sometimes think of coming to a sit like this as placing down a snow globe. If you are familiar with that, you probably are. So a snow globe where you shake it and all the snowflakes are just twirling around. It can be quite crazy. And that's sometimes how a day can feel for us. There's just so much going on and so much being demanded of our attention. So once we sit down and intentionally come to sit to listen a bit more deeply, it's almost like we're placing that snow globe down and the snowflakes are starting to settle. And those that are settling completely, that's fine. And if there's some still swirling around in the air and you can notice the sort of after effects of what's been here for you today, that's also fine. And so to ground ourselves into this present moment, so coming really into the body and this present moment, I quite like to look at some anchor points. And by anchor points, I mean one point somewhere in the body that feels settling, feels somewhere that can steady you and you can pay some attention. So like the feet on the ground, feet in contact with the floor. Really noticing the quality of that contact, whether the floor beneath is hard or cold or warm, fluffy carpet, and whatever is happening at the soles of the feet in contact with that floor beneath. I'm calling it anchoring because it's like grounding ourselves to really know that we're here and now. Then bringing the attention to the seat and the sit bones in contact with the chair. And again, noticing how that is. What does it feel like to sit here? Or if you're lying, what is it like to be in contact with what you're being supported by? All the contact points. And then moving the attention now to the hands, where they are resting. Sensing into all of the aliveness that's happening here right now. What's here in the palms of the hands, fingers and fingertips. If the hands are resting in each other, then that touch of skin. Or the contact with the thighs and fabric, perhaps. Just tuning in, listening, sensing. And if places in the body are not steadying for you at this point in time, it's always possible to touch an object, for example, like a pen or something else on your desk or nearby, or the chair beneath. Just feeling into that, opening your eyes and looking at something outside of yourself, really placing full attention on one object and all the details you can notice. There's no right or wrong. It's simply what is supporting you right now and for you to place your attention in a steady way. as best we can. And at any point during the practice that you feel that you need to refocus or steady yourself, then you can come back to this one place that you feel that there is some contact or connection with. Looking after yourself. So the invitation now is to really notice what is here in this moment for you. So it could be your energy right now, your mood this moment, thoughts, thought patterns, what thoughts are really present with you. And sensations in the body, any and all sensations that you are picking up. Perhaps they are reflecting your mood and your thoughts. Simply noticing whatever this moment is like. We're just meeting it as it is. We're so often wishing for things to be different or willing it to be different. So seeing if we can just allow as best we can some gentle agreement with how this moment is. It's already here, so fatigue, openness, ease, agitation, energy, whatever. And then with all of this awareness and keeping a real connection with the body and maybe one place in the body like the feet or the seat or the hands. An invitation now to ask yourself a question. What do I need to hear? What do I need to hear in this moment to express a quality or an intention of kindness and compassion to myself? What do I need to hear? Could be a word, could be several words or a phrase to really help you extend that kindness and compassion towards yourself. Could be, I am here, I'm present. This is not so easy, and I'm showing up. I'm showing up for myself. I care. I care. Maybe really noticing what would be really true words for you in your own language that's close to your heart. An invitation, if it feels okay, to express this kindness and compassion by contacting the heart, for example, placing one hand on the heart. And noticing that sort of heaviness or the weight of the hand and that contact point. And really seeing if that can be a helpful extension of the kindness and compassion that you are inclining your mind towards, setting an intention. Maybe just saying it's okay that this is what it's like right now. Let me feel it. And that could be difficulty, and it could also be a pleasantness. Sometimes allowing ourselves to feel that too. Letting that in. Breathing with it. Remembering that at any point we need to regather our focus, steady ourselves. Maybe we've started daydreaming or feeling sleepy or getting caught up in some story in the mind. That's just what the mind does. So that's not wrong. Nothing's wrong has happened. All we do is just notice that that's happened. Get curious about that and just intentionally bringing the attention back to where you had intended it to be, which might be a hand on the heart, or it might be sensing those words of kindness and compassion. Really noticing if you're saying words to yourself, how are they reflected in the body? What are you noticing? And an invitation now to see if you would like to extend this sense of compassion and kindness to someone else. Maybe bringing to mind someone close to you. Or it could be to this group, this community. Or a larger community still. Whatever feels helpful and supportive right now, to be able to extend this kindness also to them. How does that feel? What comes up in your experience as you are extending the kindness and compassion more widely? And maybe sensing how it would be to receive words of kindness from them. Just noticing what's here. Noticing what's here in the body. Let's just flavor our experience. And the last few moments to really invite you to check back in with maybe an anchor point of feet or seat or hands, or somewhere externally to you. And again, setting that intention of meeting however you're feeling right now, however the practice was, whatever happened in it, whether the mind was drifting, the mind got busy, or whether we felt ease, or whether it was difficult to access. The whole experience that we have in our mindfulness practice is there for us to learn from, to see more clearly, to just get curious about, you know? And practicing self-compassion is inclining the mind to create a kinder environment for us to operate within. What stories am I telling myself? How am I speaking to myself? Can I incline my mind towards more kindness and more understanding? And then doing what feels supportive for you to shift from this practice and into a space together where we have all the faces on the screens. So just listening to the body and seeing if maybe the shoulders can be needing some rolling, or a stretch of the neck, or a yawn, or any sort of movement that feels like your body is calling for. And in the last few moments together here, it would be really, I'm really curious to hear how that was for you. If there's anything you wish to share at all, there's no, it's all an invitation here. But if you want to just check in by sharing how you're feeling now, or anything you noticed through the practice, or if you have any questions, of course, too, just putting that in the chat box. Really welcome anything that you wish to share in this space. And thank you for the practice together. So Ariane's saying, feeling more calm. It was so peaceful, I almost fell asleep a couple of times. Yvonne is saying, side note, I absolutely adore you. Please call more often. Thank you so much, Yvonne. That's very kind to say. Thank you. I love being here. Relieves my mind. It was great. Thank you. Thank you for this wonderful mindful session. It's been such a crazy week for me back on campus after so long. This was literally so relaxing from Yarul. Nadia saying thank you for the sessions. Josh saying feeling light after a long and busy week. Thank you. Thank you for sharing all this, guys. It's really great. And Beatrice is saying, I was so relaxed, but my boss just called me. Oh dear. Sorry about that. I hope you can find back to calm afterwards. I was very frantic before the practice. Maishi saying, I haven't been able to focus the past few days as I was sick, but I feel so relaxed now. I'm always sleepy. In the beginning, I was fidgety and did feel like giving up so many times, but I settled in near the end. Thank you so much. Thank you. Really value you sharing that, because it can be so busy at first to kind of really try and settle, and like to stick with it is so great. Thank you for sharing that. Love it. Thank you. Love the heart touching. Yeah. Meeting ourselves somewhere, sometimes the belly, or the arms, almost like a comforting, I guess. Sometimes also people like the cheek, or even cupping the whole face in both hands. So that can be a whole practice in itself to notice where is it calling for attention, where can I kind of contact myself. And it is surprisingly powerful sometimes. And we kind of, sometimes when I ask people to, well, maybe if you want to close your eyes and then place a hand on your heart, people can feel quite reluctant, like, why would I do that? But then when you do it, it's just, there's something there in that contact. And, we really need that sometimes. And then Isabella saying, thank you so much. It helped me to calm down my brain. I was becoming crazy because my exam is tomorrow. Good luck. You'll be great. You'll be awesome. I love your eyebrows. Thank you. Oh, no one ever told me that. That's really kind. Thank you so much. That's lovely. Thank you so much for sharing all that, guys. I really, really value and feel very grateful for you practicing here together, creating this space where people feel, safe enough and so happy to share so openly. That means a lot. It's credit to all of you guys for creating that environment together. Thank you for doing this despite different time zones with one another. Needed this next week. Hope you can do it again soon. Yeah, definitely doing more of this. Thank you so much. Really, really, really thank you. And for those who have exams or reading or assignments to do, maybe just find that one place in the body, or maybe touching the heart or somewhere else, and just coming back to the body again and again. And wishing you a good day ahead, a good night, and I'll see you again soon. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye. Have a great day. You too, Mia. Thank you so much. And oh, I forgot to say, you can stay on, and in this room will stay open if you want to stay and chat with each other and things like that. So I will log off, but the room is still open. So sorry, I should have mentioned that a bit before. Thank you so much. Bye. Bye, Lisa. You cheer me up. See you later. Thank you. You guys cheer me up too. Bye. See you soon. Bye. Have a good day.